Good evening, you're watching News Mongolian MNB World. I'm your host, Anur Gamatar. And for top stories, COVID-19 booster shots shown to increase antibodies. Over 500,000 tons of wheat expected to be harvested this year. Gachuurt village and French city of Trélévern, France, established sister city relations. And for the news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Health and National Center for Communicable Diseases provided the latest updates on COVID-19 status in Mongolia. On Monday, 3,766 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed and 6 more people have died.
In the past 24 hours, 3,766 new cases were confirmed and 3,175 have recovered. Unfortunately, 6 patients, 3 men and 3 women, died of COVID-19 complications, which makes the total death toll reach 968. 3,765 new cases were confirmed domestically, out of which 1,271 were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar and 2,494 in the rural provinces. 1 imported case of COVID-19 recorded. At hospitals nationwide, 18,941 COVID-19 patients are being treated, which includes 651 pregnant women and 2,651 children with COVID-19. Out of the inpatients, 12,473 show mild symptoms of illness and 255 are in critical condition. Additionally, 28,890 patients are being treated at home under supervision from local hospitals.
Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
Mongolian ambassador to France Batur Evermit paid a working visit to Trélévern France on August 27th and 28th. During the visit, the ambassador spoke to local media about Mongolia's current socio-economic situation. Ambassador Batur met with Mongolians living and working in Bretagne region and discussed opportunities to further boost culture and tourism relations between Mongolia and France. The Regional Council welcomed a proposal initiated by the ambassador and Mr. Yannick Keguinier on establishing sister city relations between Gachuurt village in Ulaanbaatar and the city of Trélévern. An official visit to Mongolia from a delegation from Bretagne will take place in 2022. During Wednesday's meeting of the National Emergency Commission, a team of experts and epidemiologists agreed that the third shot of COVID-19 vaccine provided 92% protection from fatal complications. In addition, the number of antibodies has shown to be 4 times higher within 7 to 14 days. Experts are now calling on the public to get a third shot. Experts forecast that the second wave peak for COVID-19 infections in Mongolia will fall in mid-September, but that new cases will eventually decline. Currently, more than 70% of hospitalized patients are experiencing mild symptoms of illness, and the number of complications among patients are generally lower. Minister of Health Ingbolt also noted that the mortality rate is falling, as 70% of the target group nationwide has been fully vaccinated. On September 4th, representatives of Mongolian athletes and coaches participating in the 16th 2020 Summer Paralympic Games were received by Governor Nakano Hiromichi of Yaesu City, Shizuoka Prefecture, and Deputy Governor Shimoyama Koji. Patolak, the coach of the Mongolian National Paralympic Committee's powerlifting team, 107-kilogram powerlifting gold medalist of the 2020 Summer Paralympic Games, Sotnam Pilche, and Taekwondo coach Otkhon Batar visited the city. Yaesu City has been cooperating with the Mongolian sports community since 2016, and Paralympic athlete Tsogt Kirill trains in Yaesu every year. The Mongolian Para-Taekwondo team, freestyle wrestling team, and 3x3 basketball team also come to the city to train every year. Deseret International Foundation renovated the operating room at Sukhpatar Province General Hospital and presented the finished project to hospital administrators. The DIF project coordinator noted that almost all of the equipment and supplies such as surgical beds, surgical lighting, and anesthesia have arrived, but the arrival of some tools has been delayed due to border control issues. Aruna, the head of the surgery department, said that the Zeret International Foundation provided the hospital with 100 million Mongolian tugreks in critical equipment. The hospital's doctors noted that having a fully equipped operating room allows them to perform planned and unplanned surgeries locally without requiring patients to go to Ulaanbaatar, which will save area residents time and money.
Mongolia planted wheat on 385,000 hectares out of the over 660,000 hectares of fields used this year. The estimated amount of wheat to be harvested per hectare is 1.5 tons.
Rain and falling temperatures in late August brought the process of harvesting to a halt in some region. Officials say the frequent precipitation is playing a big role in delaying the harvesting of wheat.
The preliminary results show that it is possible to reap over 500,000 tons of wheat, excluding grains, spirits and other uses. A total of 427,000 tons of wheat could be milled for flour. To account for the weather and other possible risks, 20% of the estimation should be deducted, which means 344,000 of tons of wheat could be supplied for flour production.
In Siling province, 209,000 hectares were used to produce wheat. Due to the colder weather in spring, sowing was delayed for 20 days, which along with the rainy days in August has now resulted in an underdevelopment harvest. That's why selective harvesting is being carried out in some fields.
We had a wonderful summer and with plenty of rain. However, rain in late August has resulted in a delayed harvest. If we are lucky enough to have a long, warm autumn, it is possible to increase the estimated amount of wheat harvested from 1 hectare by 1 to 2 bushels.
The pattern of delayed warmer temperatures in spring and heavy rain ahead of harvest time has been occurring for the past 2 to 3 years. Officials have advised farmers to adapt to these conditions by changing their farming methods. In Khinty province, no-till technology, preparing land without cultivation, was tested and successfully increased the amount of wheat harvested per hectare.
Without plowing their fields, Khinty Trélévern successfully prepared the land using a new method, and we are completely satisfied with the amount of wheat we have collected so far.
More than 50 combine harvesters and other types of equipment have been imported duty-free from Russia and other countries in order to intensify the harvesting process. In addition, funds from the Agricultural Support Fund have been dispersed for the purchase of fuel for agricultural machinery.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at our regular future on sports. The 3rd Asian Cheerleading Student Championships 2021 will be held online for the first time. A technical conference was held in Seoul, South Korea on Friday. The competition will be held in 11 categories, and about 500 teams from 5 participating countries will be videotaped, and the results will be sent to the judges for evaluation. The competition will last for about 6 weeks, from the 3rd of this month to the 14th of October. In addition to the Mongolian national team, athletes from China, Kazakhstan, Taiwan, and the host country Korea have applied and won the right to participate in the competition. 38 students and athletes from 8 universities from Mongolia will participate, including Mongolian Teachers University, National Institute of Physical Education, Ulaanbaatar International University, Ikhtsasig International University, Mandakh University, Shihihoto University, Itugun University, and University of Arts and Sciences, and coaches and officials will participate. The team will be led by Oyung, president of the Mongolian Student Cheerleading Association, a lecturer of the Mongolian National University of Agriculture, and Mukhargul, a head coach of the national student cheerleading team, and the teacher of the National Institute of Physical Education. The team includes experienced athletes like Namundol from the Academy of Sciences and Namirtin from the Academy of Science of Mongolia, who won bronze medals in the second competition held in Seoul, South Korea in 2019. The competition will be chaired by Jargas Sakhan, Vice President of the Asian Student Sports Federation, with Ko Mandy, a Chinese national and international judge, as their technical representative, James Kim, a Korean citizen and international judge, and other judges. The competition is organized by the Asian Student Sports Federation, the Korean Student Sports Federation and the Cheerleading Federation of Korea, and will be held online for the first time due to the pandemic. The Mongolian Student Sports Association and the Mongolian Student Cheerleading Association are preparing for the participation of Mongolian students cheerleaders in this competition. The Mongolian Freestyle Wrestling Federation held a competition to select its athletes for the Oslo 2021 World Championships to be held in Oslo, Norway on October 2nd at the Champions Camp Academy in Tor Province. Athletes, coaches and judges who participated in the control bout strictly followed the National Emergency Commission's infection control regime and all were screened for coronavirus. In the men's 92 kg weight category, Orgul, a young athlete from the Hasu Megastars club, defeated many experienced masters of Mongolia and will compete on the world stage for the first time. In the women's 50 kg category, Otrun Jarl, a 20-year-old athlete from the Jenko club, defeated Namun Tsatsik and Mukhnar, a masters of sports. Hongurtul of Bayangkor province, who competed in the 57 kg weight category at the Tokyo Olympics, defeated Dawachimik in the group stage. Then when they met again in the final, the skilled master Dawachimik defeated her opponent 5-1 and will compete with the best in the world. The women's 62 kg weight category was one of the most thrilling divisions. Tsirunchimit, the gold and silver medalist of the World Championship, Kantoya, the bronze medalist of the Under-23 World Cup, and Bolortoya, the participant of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, all participated in the same weight category. Kantoya won on points against Tsirunchimit. Ichjing, a 19-year-old athlete from the Alter Sports Comedy in the 65 kg weight category, defeated this year's Asian champion Bolor Tongklak in the final. In the 72 kg weight category, Dawa Nasan defeated Nasan Burma 4-0 in the final, but Dawa Nasan sustained a serious injury and Nasan Burma was granted the opportunity to compete at the World Championships. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast of world's major cities. Well, that's all for today and thank you for staying with us. We will see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.